John Edusei Owoo, a lawyer and as a counsel to the Owoo family. Counsel Akwabe Kosi saying Suni.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, I hope
In
you.
the first place, my name is not John Owoo. It's John Edusei.
Oh, it's John Edusei. Oh,
Yes,
you are the Owoo family lawyer. Sorry
that's
about
correct.
that. Sorry about that. John Edusei.
Okay.
Great. Maybe I just say Utimika Tree Kakra.
Unfortunately, my tree is terrible.
Oh, really?
So you will have to conduct this interview in English.
No problem. No problem. So I just read out a statement from the Owoo family, and I believe you are aware of this statement, right?
Yes, I am.
Super. So what really did the family want to communicate to the Ghanaian people?
What do you mean already did the family communicate to Ghanaian people?
I'm asking, what did the family want to communicate through this statement to the Ghanaian people?
With all due respect, there's been a lot of hoo-ha going on with respect to this matter. And the family just wanted to state their position so that everybody understood where they stood in this matter.
Okay, and through this statement, the family would want to reiterate the fact that, one, there was no compensation paid for the 1927 acquisition. Is that the case?
The reason that's been brought up is that there was an earlier remarks made regarding a compensation paid to the Owoo family in 1921. That is 100% correct. There was payment made in 1921, but there were subsequent acquisitions. And the issue was that those subsequent acquisitions, government was not able to give evidence of payment at the time of the negotiations which started in 2006. So the memorandum, which was signed in 2008, one of the reasons laid down for them to give those an acreage of 198 acres, was the fact that there was no evidence that payments had been made to the Owoo family. But fast forward to 2011 and thereafter, and the petitions thereafter. The petitions and the subsequent negotiations were based on other things. Among those things which was based was the change of the land. That is to say, they were going to build an ecotourism park. And also at the time, there was so much encroachment taking place. So after negotiation with Forestry Commission on behalf of government, it was agreed that in order to stop this encroachment and to make it fair that the family had some land back, and to make the eco park get on the way, there should be an agreement where they will give the family some land. And the basis of that was on compassionate ground. And not, so when people refer to money being paid in 21 and not being paid in whatever year, the point, well, these are red herrings. So the focus on the matter was the land was given back on compassionate ground, which government had the authority to do. And this was done way back in 2013. Now, the issue why we are having problems today is because now they want to enter the land. And this has brought about all the current negotiations since 2013 when leases were signed.
Okay, so when was the first time the family petitioned the government of Ghana?
Well, that I cannot give you an accurate date, but I believe it was somewhere in 2006.
2006.
But the real negotiations started in 2008. Now, the petitions which I was involved in started in 2011.
So in that petition to the government of Ghana, the first one I mean, what specifically was the request from the family? Did you request for land compensation or monetary compensation?
Land compensation.
At no point have you ever requested for monetary compensation?
Not at all, because government, the whole essence of this exercise was the land was not being used for the purpose of which it was acquired. It wasn't part of the reserve. There was no active forest or ecological activities taking that place. And as such, there was encroachment. There were tractors parked there. There were so many activities all around the place. People were building there without right of title and so on and so forth.
So did you make the request based on the fact that the land wasn't being used for its intended purpose,
That was one
or
of the bases.
or,
Yes,
or it was because of the failure of the state to pay the family
that
their
too
due
was one of the
compensation?
grounds. You know, there were multiple grounds. There's never one ground which we approach these matters. So there's always something we approach in the alternative. So we gave a list of reasons why why we were making the petition.
So when the request for land compensation was made, did government at any point since 2007, 2008 make a counter offer that they would rather pay you monetary compensation and keep
At
the land?
no time have they made that offer.
That offer hasn't come from government.
No government from the beginning, from the before administration all the way to present administration, nobody has made an offer of monetary compensation.
Would you have accepted monetary compensation if that offer was made?
No, we weren't after money. The point is that we were as a local owners, we were after the return of the land.
On Achimota FM.
We weren't after money.
Oh, okay. So now the latest EI was necessary for the family to be able to acquire full legal right in the land, right?
Precisely. There's a legal procedure for everything where land is concerned. And one of the requirements where land is gazetted for a specific purpose. In order for it to be used for another purpose, it has to be de-gazetted. And that's the process we went through.
But how come the portion of the land that was due the family, it kept changing? I mean, we heard of 90 acres, it came to close to 200 acres, and what explained the variations?
There was never 90 acres on the table.
Okay.
It was 90 something hectares, not acres. For some reason, it's been discussed as acres. And as you see, as we were negotiating, there were changing circumstances all the time. You know, there were certain places situated which had you had was well, for want of a better word, was more commercial value, and there was areas which were less commercial value. So there were so many discussions and factors. So these all played a part in the changing of the actual amount which was finally granted to the Owoo family.
Okay, so how do you respond to those who have made the argument, and maybe legitimately so, that because of the need to safeguard the ecosystem in that area and not also turn that area into a concrete jungle, that maybe the portion of land government is giving out to the family is a bit too huge? I mean, looking at how much we are taking out of the Achimota forest land size, this is a bit too huge. How do you respond to that?
My first point to that is that I wish people will go to the site, the Achimota site. Now, I don't want to go into details of what we've done over the period of time, which includes one of the requests of planting trees in the actual forest.
On Achimota FM.
Now, what you have to bear in mind is that the forest will be improved by virtue of what is being done. Number one, currently, Ghanaians do not have access to the forest per se. What it is there now is that there are a lot of prayer centers and a lot of suspect characters who hide in there and after engaging in types of robbery. Now,
Asempa FM.
what the ecotourist park was aiming for was to create a situation where it could be actually useful and at the same time maintain its ecological uses. Now, in order to do that, they went in there. They went to the site, looked at what was ecologically to be able to be done there. And then they mapped out the areas of use of the forest which is still, which could be maintained and used. And then and the places which were peripheral, they cut out. So it's not a question that we are getting rid of very important parts of the forest. No, not at all. I'll give you an example. Now, if you know the area, there's a Shell petrol station station at the far end, or just near the police station, Achimota police station.
Yes.
If you're coming in from the George Bush Highway,
Yes.
is on to your left.
Yes.
If you go further down, there's some residents of Forestry Commission.
Absolutely.
Now, if you go to the back of that place, then you will see a forest. That is a forest. And you see that nothing has been done to it, and nothing is going to be done to it. And nobody has claimed anything from there. You see, that's why I said people should actually know the environment before they make comments about it.
Yeah, but the other thing is, would you still describe the portion government is giving out to the family as peripheral, seeing
Yes.
that it's almost 30% or over of the entire land size?
Yeah, so I will describe it as peripheral because it's not at one place. It covers the number of areas. If you're saying it's 30% of a fixed area, say for example, area is 100 by 100, and you're taking 30% of that area, then I can understand your point, but this is not the case. These are different ports.
Yeah, but all the different parts will still come down to one land size as it was originally acquired by the state.
No, if you're looking at it that way, then you're looking at the whole of Jolu, what do you call it, Belente, the motorway, all that was part of the forest. Christian Village, all that was part of the forest.
Some okay, so again, do you perchance know what the family would be using their portion for? Is there a plan?
I'm not in a position to second guess.
Okay, you don't know that. You don't know that. Okay, so in the interest of maintaining the ecosystem in that area, making sure that we have that green reserve in the middle of the city of Accra, don't you think, I mean, looking at how the conversation around this whole issue has gone, that probably if government should make a proposal that we need to keep this land and maybe embark on an afforestation program to bring all the other part that have been encroached upon back up, so we get that green area in the whole area. It's something the family should probably pay heed to.
No, unfortunately, that can't be done because it's not commercial, physically possible. Now, what you have to bear in mind is that if you look at the EI and take a detailed reading of the EI, there are so many hoops and hurdles which anybody who's going to try and develop that area will have to go through. And among those which you should always bear important, the integrity of the forest is paramount. So nobody's going to be allowed to build concrete monstrosities. The integrity of the forest is the key for any development around the peripheral area. And you would note that if you know the detailed discussion, anything that's going to have to go through a consent process, which requires any person who acquires or tries to do anything there to do some greenery, and not potted plants, actual greenery.
On Asempa FM.
My final question to you, being counsel for the family, is that would you be surprised to hear any other family within Greater Accra laying claim to the portion of land government is given out to you?
I was not surprised, of course. One is always anticipating this. But the point is, one was always have your legal documents before you approach anybody to say something belongs to you. As you see, as time goes by, as people try to make those claims, there's enough evidence which the family has to show that it's their property, including the fact that even the only payment made in that area by the colonial government was to the Owoo family, and the receipts are there for the evidence, which is in public records. So that in itself is not a real issue. You will always have people who claim ownership, both in Accra and anywhere else in Ghana. So that's always been anticipated.
So any other family with superior evidence should head to the court, I suppose.
Something to that end.
You could see saying on Asempa
Very
FM.
well. So we'll come back to you when if need be.
If an early time at all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
You have a
That's
good day now.
same to you, Lawyer John Edusei, family lawyer. That's for the Owoo family. And Moten and Cassie and AD and Como. You could see saying Asempa 94.